everybody, this is Artisan Loom once again. I am here to introduce my series of bracelets that are dedicated to the military. They're my Armed Forces bracelets. The only one missing is my Army one, which I'm going to be doing in this tutorial today in those Army colors. But here is what they look like, and I'm happy to be able to do these. It's just near and dear to my heart. My husband was in the United States Army, and he was stationed at the home of the Screaming Eagles at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and that's where I met him. And he served in the Desert Storm, the first Gulf War. And so lots of memories, but this is the bracelet I decided to design, and this is the nice little charm that I found, which I think is just absolutely awesome. This is the Marine one, so I used the gold, metallic gold, I believe it is, and I think that's jelly red, and then the Simplicity black. I just think that has a nice little sheen to it, and it just makes it look more manly. But these, I'm doing each bracelet, they're in the exact same design. I'm just doing them in different colors of their branch. So this is the Air Force, excuse me, and that is with the metallic silver silicone bands. And then I believe that's metallic white in there, and the jelly navy blue, and then the Simplicity black as well, just because that looks more manly for military. Could be for women too, but you know, women, definitely military wives might decide to wear them as well, but they're just really neat, just really for all who decide. And then of course I did this one, and I ended up using the, this one's for the Navy, and I think I used the Persian or the Egyptian gold, and then I used the blue is, I believe, the jelly blue. Make sure that's what that is. Yeah, the jelly navy blue. And then I ended up using the Persian, it's either the Persian or the Egyptian blue that has a little bit of the gold going down the center, because that seems to be their colors. And maybe slight off, but this is what I had to choose from. And I will show you what they, let me try. This is the one I'm going to be doing today. And this is for the Army one, and I just love these colors. It's perfect, and that's the one I'm going to be showing you. So you need to get out your loom. It's a 4-pin bar setup. Okay, these two pegs are the same across, and then you go down one, and the two center are the same. So it staggers down one, over, up one. Okay, for the Army one, we're going to use, like I said, the Simplicity black, which is right there. I'm going to use the metallic white, which I guess you could use any kind of white. That's just the one I'm going to use. And then just the opaque yellow. That's the brightest one I think I could find, was the opaque yellow. And then obviously you're going to need a hook and a C-clip. Okay. I guess let's get started. So we are going to start off. Now I'm not going to bead this, because obviously this is mainly a manlier typed bracelet. If you choose and you're a military wife and you want to make some bling on it, I guess you could, but I just wanted to make these as straightforward military as possible. Manly look to them. And I had given my Army one away to my husband's good friend in Texas before we moved because he served in the Army, and he just really loved it. So I went ahead and gave that up. I found some more pins, so I'm able to make another one. And this is perfect because then I can do this one with you. Okay, the first step in making this Army Edition bracelet out of the series of my armed forces, it is going to be the black. So you go one across, one over to the right, and you're going to do one over to the left. Push your bands down as you go. Okay, then you're going to do a simple border up. Let me just get some on this side too, because I have a hard time working and hate my hands being in the way. But you're just going to do a simple border all the way up to the loom, to the end of the loom. Boy, I can't speak. And so this is just how you're going to get going with it. And what I'm going to do is let you finish up doing the simple border chain going straight up. By the way, it's best if you do this 2 loom lengths long. Oops, look there, look where I messed up. Good thing I didn't get very far. In my setup, I had the pin bar, as I was putting it together, I had it put one up. So anyhow, it's a 4-pin bar setup, but 2 loom lengths long. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you finish the single chain going up. This is what your loom should look like as you come to the end. So you finish your single chains on both sides, and then you come in one on each one. And you leave this one open because that's where we'll put our cat bands. So that's what you should look like as of right now. Okay, let me get some more of my black out because we are going to continue on with the black. Okay, so from here we are going to go to this right peg, or the third pin bar, and you're going to make a long stretch up to the second peg on the last pin bar. Okay, you go the next one up and stretch it over, and I like to push them down as I go. Just helps for later on as we're looming. Okay, so we're just going to continue that all the way up, long stretch, just like that. Okay, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Get a couple more of these bands on this side so I can show you, so my hands won't get too much in the way. Okay, so second pin bar, long stretch over to the first pin bar, second peg, and then you're just going to be doing that long stretch, each one all the way up. Okay. Oops. Man, it's really hard for me to work this way because I am right-handed. I'm trying. Okay. So, I'm going to let you finish up. You just do a long stretch all the way up. Okay? And I'll meet you back in just a second. This is what your loom should look like. Just these long stretches all the way up, and this is how it ends. It ends the third peg down, or the, you know, from the corner, the long stretch. So this peg will not have a long stretch because this is outside of the border. So it just stops right there. And the same on this side, stops in the corner with the long stretch. Okay. Now we are going to take, let's see, I believe that is going to be our white. Okay, let me get some white over here. Okay, I'm going to be using my metallic white. And what we're going to be doing is making triangles right up against this border, the point pointing towards the left. You're going to connect it with the last one that you laid. So another triangle. And another triangle. You're going to do this all the way up the loom on the right side. I'll go ahead and show you what the left side looks like. Going to do your triangle, well, just like that. So it's going to look the exact same. Going to connect it. Oops. I think I put it up underneath. And make sure it stays on top of the black bands. Okay, so then I'm going to take another one, make a triangle, make a triangle, one more. Okay, you're going to do that all the way down the loom. Come from a big line of, well, a lot of my family members were served in the military. My dad was a station, well, we moved all over the place. We lived in Germany and in several other locations. But he was in the Army, and he did 2 tours in Vietnam. Then you had my brother, who, oops, this went over the black again. See that? You want to make sure it's on top of the black one. That's why I needed to push my bands down. My brother also served in the Army, and he was stationed in Hawaii. And he was in military intelligence. My sister, her first husband, was in the Marine Corps in California. Oops, see, look, I went the wrong way, not paying attention, just talking my head off. And then my husband was in the military, Armed Forces, Army, and he did several tours in Saudi Arabia and also into the Gulf War. So quite a bit in our family as far as the military goes. So this one is just near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad to be able to share it with everybody who also has family and husbands and wives and daughters and sisters and brothers and that serve in the military. So anyhow, enough rambling. You do your triangles all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back right at the front for the next step. I wanted to show you another way you could do this, because bands, when I put on my triangles, the bands tend to get twisted. Another way that I found that I really like to do it, and I think it goes a lot faster, is if you just go do a single chain on the right. Oops, make sure it stays above the black. And then what I do is I take my hook. Let me move this down here so you can see. After I make the single chain to get that triangle, because then these go on straight. And then I take my hook and I'll go in there and grab the white and pull it over. And that way it seems like it stays, you know, nice and flat and doesn't get all twisted on you. That's another way to keep it from twisting. So I just wanted to show you that. So go ahead and finish up. This is what your loom should look like with the triangles all the way down to the end. And that's where it stops. Okay, I completely forgot to even mention, and how terrible of that is me, or how terrible of me is that, if I can get my words straight. My husband's family also come from military, and just want to go ahead and mention this, his brother was in the Marine Corps, and his father was in the Marines, and his mother for a short time. So total military family. Okay, we're going to move on. So from here, you need to get your yellow out if you're going to be doing this particular branch, whatever your center part's going to be for whichever branch that you decide. Red if it's going to be the marine, navy blue if it's going to be the Air Force, and you know, some type of gold or blue Persian would work down the center of the navy. But I'm using the yellow. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to go to the second pin bar and you're going to make another triangle, a weird triangle like that. It's going to span across these two pegs in the corner here. Okay, and then you're going to do the same on the other side. What I do is I'm going to go from right here, the second pin bar, stretch it over where, and you're going to make it look like that. It's going to look like a square with the two lines in the center. So you're just going to make a triangle going here and then a triangle going here to make it look like the square. So what I'm going to do is just do one side and then I'll come back and do the other. So let's start off with the triangles, just like that. Okay, and we're going to do that all the way up. It just seems like it's easier. I don't want to totally confuse you. I probably already did, although it's not really a hard bracelet. Okay, so you're just going to follow these up. Okay, you're going to make these triangles all the way up to the end, and then we'll pick back up over here. Okay, so this is what your loom should look like. Just, you can disregard that one. I'll show you how to, well, you don't have to disregard it, but I'll show you. We only did the one on both sides here, and then we decided to do the triangles going up. And there's where it ends, just like that. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to finish and we're going to do the other side. So we're going to do the same thing, just make a mirror image. The long stretch is going to go over the second pin bar, or bar pin, and stretch it down just like that. Okay? So you're making another X. And I like to make sure all my stuff's down so that I don't get the bands all messed up. Okay, so here, you're going to take it, and you're going to pull it straight up, and then down. Okay, just like that. Another triangle. Try to keep your bands from twisting. There you go. Long stretch and down. That will make it even. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. Looks like a square with a line through it. Or now I see, as I'm looking at this, they look like Z's or 7s. But anyhow, just think of it as squares with lines in it. Square with lines in it. Okay? And so you're going to finish it all the way up the loom. Long stretch up. Well, that's a different type of band. Okay, long stretch up and then down. Okay, all the way up to the end. So this is how your loom should end up at the top, the exact same way. Okay, now let me get some more yellow. We are going to make X's, okay, from the second bar pin to the third part bar pin, second peg up. So you're going to go to the right, and then you're going to go down here and make an X to the left. Okay? And you're going to you connect it with that one, make X's. And you're going to do that all the way up the loom. Okay? So not hard, very simple. Very simple. So I'm going to let you finish doing your X's all the way up the loom, and I'll meet you at the next step. You got your X's all the way up, and that's how you end right here with your nice X's. And then I believe what we're going to need to do now is we're going to make a cat band to go at the end here because we're getting ready to start looping. So I'm going to take a single band, triple it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to double it. I don't think it really needs triple. So I'm going to triple or double it on my hook, grab the one side, put it on that peg, and stretch it over. And that's going to be our cat band. So we can now turn the loom around and start looping, which is the best part of all. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to, let me see what we do here. I'm wondering if I'm doing the bottom one all the way. Let me see here. That must be what I've decided to do. I had to check my notes. Okay, so we're gonna, this one is on the bottom, okay? So we're gonna wanna grab that one first. So we're gonna go in through this cat band, and we're gonna grab the one that's on the bottom, or we're gonna grab that one and pull it over to itself, just like that. And then, let me see if I do one side at a time. Nope. Okay, that's how we do it. Let me get back to where I was. Okay, and then we're going to come back in from this cat band and grab it and pull it towards itself. Okay, we're going to go in and grab the one that's on the bottom, which will be this left one, because it's on the bottom of here. Pull it back to itself. Go into that second peg, back to itself. And you're going to do that all the way up the loom. So you always start on the left, which is the bottom one. Just make sure you're grabbing the band that's on the bottom. So for me, that's always going to be a left or right to left. Okay? You're going to grab that one, go in here to the left. Go back into that cat band, or yeah, that peg, back to itself, back to itself. And we're just going to do X's all the way up. Okay, so I'll finish and I'll show you what the next step is, and I'll show you what the end should look like. Get done doing that, this is what your loom should look like towards the end. And what you're going to do, well, what you should do is just go through, and I press down all the bands in the center. That way it gives it extra room to finish up the looping. Okay, now, you remember where we made these triangles? We had a triangle going, well, right now there's a, let's see here. There was a triangle going up and this way, and then a triangle going this way. Okay, we've got to go in through. Okay, so this is the long point. This is where the short point was. So it was a long stretch point down. So what we're going to want to do is, let me make sure, I think we're going in through this. Yeah, we're going to go in through this second peg, and you're going to grab, see what I'm doing? You're going to grab, which was the point of that triangle. Grab it, pull it up, and bring it around, okay? And you're going to stretch it back to itself. Okay? See what I did? That's what we're going to do. And I believe let me make sure and check my notes if we're going to do each side as we go up or just do one side and then go back. So let me check my notes. I'll be right back. That's what we're going to do. We are going to do the one side all the way up and then do the other side. So we just brought this one from down here and back onto itself. We're going to go up to this pin, okay? Go in and grab that yellow, bring it up and back down across to itself to make that long stretch to make that triangle, okay? Go up to the next one, see that? Grab it, bring it around and stretch it on itself. So be careful, it gets a little tight, but you'll be all right. Everything will work out. I'm going to grab this one, go around, bring it back to here and across. Oops. Okay, so that's what it should look like. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to do a couple more. Okay, so this is where we ended. I'm not going to go here. I'm going to go up to the next one. Grab, put your hook in, slant it, grab that yellow band, and bring it over to itself. Might be easier to put it on this peg first. And then down. Yeah, you can do it either way, just so long as you get that. So that's what you're going to do. You're always going to grab the one, because here's here's the band, the triangle you're looking for. Okay, just like this, long, long, short. Okay, and this corner is the one you're wanting to bring back to itself. Okay, so just remember that. You're going to go in, grab that one, pull it on the peg, and then pull it down. Or you can do down to up, just so long as you get that stretch. We're going to do that all the way up, and then I'll show you how to do it to finish it up. Okay? Now, remember to push your bands down in the center as you go up so that when you do this cross one, you won't, they'll be able to lay properly. Okay, so now that you've finished that all the way up to the top, you're going to go back in to the bottom, and you're going to go in that cap band. Okay, so now what's left are the triangles that you did this way. First, you did them this way. Okay, now we've got a long stretch. Remember that went like that. So the main corner, the point is right here. So you're going to go in through this cap band, and you're going to grab this yellow band, and you're going to bring it up and over. Let me make sure I have that right. Yep. Up and over. Yep, that's right. Okay, so now you're going to go back in here because this is where the point is. Okay, you're going to go back in that second pin, and you're going to grab that yellow. Don't get the white triangle because that's the next one. You want to get that top band, which is that yellow. Okay, it's a little tight. It's a little tight because of these simplicity bands. So let me see here, because they are tight. Okay, I'm going to go, let me start over. I'm going to go in, grab that yellow, and pull it back amongst it, to itself to make that triangle. So you're going to go in, grab that top band, okay, and then you're going to be careful though, because it's well, see, the simplicity bands are really, so okay, so this is super tight. Okay, I don't want to take the chance of it snapping, so I'm going to hold it with my finger and then just kind of help it along, okay, and then pull it. These black simplicity bands, it grips any kind of band, so they're not like your opaques or your metallics or whatever where that just slides. It wants to stick to it, so because it's kind of a tight design, you want to make sure that you don't snap your band. So okay, so we stopped right there. So this will be the easiest way, and it's just because of the simplicity bands, trust me. So if you go in here and you grab this yellow band, and sometimes it'll let you and sometimes it won't. This one it did. You're going to bring it back to itself. Okay, going to go in through this one, grab it. Oop, see, it's tight again. It's tight again. So I'm going to hold it with my left hand and just go in through that peg and help it around, just like that. And then you can put it on itself, okay? I hope that's not too confusing. Okay, you're going to go in, you're going to grab it to the left. Only if it'll let you around them simplicity bands. Okay, you're going to go in and make that triangle. Go in, make that triangle. Go in, make that triangle, and then you're going to do this all the way up. Let me do the last one, the loom, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Here's what it should look like, okay? All the way up. And it ends right there with this one going across, okay? I guess I should have said you need to use good quality rainbow loom bands. I wouldn't use any simplicity bands for any long stretches. Well, probably for in this design at all, the Ellie bands, because it's got to stretch so tight, and I just think the Ellie bands don't have as much elasticity. I just love the black simplicity ones, although it does tend to catch all kinds of lint and anything sticks to it, so I'm trying not to handle it too much so the fuzzes don't get on it for my shirt. But it just has such a nice sheen to it that I just think it's perfect for the bands for this design. Okay, I believe we are going to move on to the triangles. Okay, so we're going to go in to the triangles. Let me make sure that what we're doing here. Yep, we're going to go in through where this point is. See where the point is to each one of these triangles? We're going to go in and we're going to grab that band. It's the only one left on the peg. Just grab it, pull it out a little bit to stretch it. That's probably your best bet. That way your bands don't pull it out too hard, but it just gives you enough stretch. And then you're going to pull it back on itself. So go in here. Watch out not to get the black cross bands. You're going to go in, stretch a little bit, and then pull it down. Okay, next peg. And it just goes pretty quick at that point. Go in, pull it up a little bit, and then stretch it so it looks like these. Okay, that's what you're going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like on this side. So you'll just follow that up to the very end, and you'll see where it ends. I don't need to show you, I don't think. But you're going to go in through this side when you get done. And you're going to grab that one, pull it up, stretch, and pull it to itself, just like that. I hope I'm not in the way. My hands. I'm going to go down like that, and then pull it up. Okay, last one, go in, pull it up, stretch it among those two. Okay, you're going to do that all the way up to the end of the loom. That is exactly how your loom should look. All the way up to the end where you finished right here and right here. Okay, so now we move on to these black long cross bands. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we'll do this right hand side first. It doesn't matter which one you do. Okay, you're going to go to the third peg up because that's where, you know, where the stretch is. Okay, where the band ends. And you're wanting to pull them back down to the perimeter, because if you do pull them up here, then it'll fall apart because there's nothing connecting it. So you want to always go, you want to go into the third. You're going to go in through these inner pegs and bring them back to the borders. That's what you're going to be doing each time. So you're going to go up to the third peg up, grab it, the black band, and bring it down. Okay, you go up to the next one, grab the black band, bring it down, and it goes pretty fast. And it's hard to keep these from twisting because they're just hard bands to work with. I love them, but if you hate the twisting, probably not the best bands to use. Although, if you know how to untwist them at the end, then it's not really an issue. And I will try to show you how to help with the untwisting of the bands, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. I try to show a little bit in each tutorial that I do. Okay, you're going to do that all the way up the loom. I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and then that way you guys can figure it out. Do it on your own. Okay, so third peg up, 1, 2, 3, peg up, over, long stretch, down towards the perimeter. Go up to the next one. So just don't forget any of them. You want to make sure you've got all of the, for each peg. Twist down, grab it, twist down. Okay, now I'm going to let you finish that, doing that all the way up the loom. We've got one step left after that, and that's going to be the perimeter. So we're at the home stretch now. So I'm going to let you finish doing that, and I'll meet you back at the front. So I'm on my last one up here. I'm going to grab it out of this last peg. Grab the black band and pull it down. Same with over here. Going to grab this last band and pull it down. What's weird is that seems like on this side all my bands are twisted. See, on the black seems like they twist because it's probably the way that I'm pulling them down, but on this side they're all straight. Really weird, but no big deal because I can fix those at the end. Okay, so that's what your loom should look like, just like that. Okay, now we're ready for the very last thing. So go ahead and push your bands down, just so that, because you're going to have to put the perimeter bands on top of these, and there's already a bunch of bands on them. So you're going to go in through this yellow cap band. Make sure you go in through this one too, okay? So go in through this peg behind all the yellows and grab that black one and take it to itself. Okay, you know, in a way now I wish I would have put a black perimeter band here. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe that should have been black. So I apologize. I don't think it really matters that much. But I guess to make it uniform, I probably should have used that last cap band to be the same as the perimeter. Oh well, maybe I'll put it in a link in the description box of what to do. Okay, so I'm going to go in through that peg and bring it over to the side. And now you're just going to do your single chain up. So you're going to go in, grab that single chain and pull it up. Whoops. And you're going to grab this, because it's a little tight, so that's why I'm having to hold it down. I like the tighter designs, okay? And you're going to go in through this one and get that perimeter, and you're going to just follow it straight up, okay? You get to the very end. This is the last step before we take it off. So I'm going to let you finish doing your single chain up to the end, and I'll show you how to close it off and take it off the loom. So you do the perimeter going up the entire way to the end of the loom, and then what you do is you come up and then you go in one from the left, and you go in one from the right. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to try to find a C-clip. I should have had it out and ready, but I've got one now. Okay. And I really wish I would have used the black cat band. Ugh. Okay, not to dwell, not to dwell. Okay, see, what's left here is you have this last perimeter band, okay? So you're going to go in through this second pin bar. You're going to go through those bands and grab that, okay? And pull it up. What I do is I just hold it with my finger, and then I will go in, back in through here, grab the other side of it, and pull it up. Now I've got both of them. I just put them both on the hook. Now normally, how I like, you can put your C-clip right there, but for whatever reason, I like to leave the hook on and then put the C-clip on afterwards. But I'm going to probably do both. So now I've got my hook on it and I've got my hand on the bands. I'm going to go ahead and slip a C-clip on it just like that. Let it go. And I'm just going to leave it on the hook for, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes my bands are going to come off the C-clip and I want to make sure that they don't. So I usually don't put the C-clip on till the end. So this is what you should have. And then I guess what the next step is to take it off the loom. Okay, so what I do to get my other hook is I release the tension on the sides. So I go in with my hook and lift up on each peg on the sides. That way, takes the tension off. I'll stay on camera while I do this part, but basically you're just going to pop all these off. It's kind of a tight design, but don't be afraid. And I think why I like those black simplicity bands for this design is that it totally reminds me of my husband wearing his dress greens and the black boots that they had to wear and how shiny they always had to be. So that's what they remind me of, the black shiny boots that he had to wear. And so that's why I like it. And I just think it looks really cool with this design. I think it's just that added touch. So I'm pretty happy with them. Although most people, or a lot of people, don't really like the simplicity bands all that much, I love them. And especially for this design. But they are sticky, so which makes it a little, can be annoying, especially if it hits your shirt or any kind of carpet, then now you have all the fuzzies on it. Still through the center, I'm not going to rip it off. I just don't trust it. I try not to rip any of my designs off for the risk of snapping a band. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to lift it up. Okay. And do the same thing. What I tend to do is I grab it and lift up so that it just pops. Oh, see, look, I'm only even having to hold it and on one side and it pops right off. So you might actually could. I guess if you're brave and you take it and you pull towards you and then lift up, but I just don't like doing that. These are pretty strong, what do you call it, simplicity bands, so I think it'll be fine, but I'm just not going to risk it, so I'm just going to do single It seems like if I pull up on the design on the bracelet and then I just release it from the left, then the right most of the right comes off. Well, I say that it was working a second ago. Now I'm totally off camera. Let me maneuver this. Okay. Pop it off that last one. I'm going to move my Loom out the way. And I guess since I do have my C-clip on and I see that it's totally secure, I'm going to hold on to both and slide it out. So now I have, totally wish I would have done that with this crossband, but oh well, that's life. It's not a very wide bracelet, but I'm going to take it and just grab both sides, make sure you get a good grip on them, and then just kind of stretch it out, get it going. It's just that way you get all the bands to pop where you need them. Stretch on it this way too. See how that one is popped up? I think if you just kind of maybe if I grab a few of those up under there with my hook or with my fingers. Just keep pulling. It'll make its way back where it needs to be. Okay? So this is the military United States Army design, and I will show you. Okay, because I know a lot of you have an issue. You see how that band is all twisted? I just can't handle the twisted bands. You see them, and I see lots of fuzzies. Okay, I'm going to go this way because I find it easier to work with my right hand. But it's all twisted right there. What I do, and I'm going to just take it from the side even though the side's not twisted. Let me see if it'll work. I pull on it and I twist towards it like that. Pull, snap. It usually goes back into place. If it's still a little bad, I just use the other side and I just twist just a little bit. Or you can take both and twist at the same time to get it to pop into place. Okay, so I'll just do that with the border. I'll grab a border, see how it's twisted? I'll grab it and I'll twist with my fingers a little bit, pull on it and drop it, and then grab the other side and pull it, and see, then it totally straightens them out. So this one's a little twisted. I'm going to grab it. It's just not very much. I'm going to twist just a little bit, let go. Grab it, twist, let go. There you go. See how it's kind of, I don't know if you can tell, it's not twisted. But I'll go through and I'll make sure all these bands, every band in here is straight, and I'll do that on both sides. So like, it seems like these cross bands on this side are just fine. And remember, these ones were a little twisted. So like, say this one, I know it's not that bad, but I still find the need to fix it. I will grab this side, twist it with my finger just a little bit, pull it, and snap it. And I may have to do it a couple of times just to get it because these are sticky bands. And then I'll grab the other side, and that straightens it. But I'll do that, like say for this one. See how twisted it is? I grab it, twist it, pull it, snap it, and then I'll get the other side of that band to kind of pull it back, and then it's fixed. So I will do that all on my bracelet to get it exactly how I want it to lay and look. Because remember, the military, they have to be crisp and clean on everything. So that's what I expect from my bracelet. So I'm going to go through and really, let me see how I did some of my other ones. Depending on how these are laying here down the center in these yellows, I will decide whether I need to fix them. It looks like they're laying right. Some of them may be a little twisted. The ones on top, if they're majorly twisted, then I'll fix them. If not, then I'll just keep it just like it is. So I'm going to go finish cleaning mine up, and then I'll show you how to put on the charm down the center. Okay, I'll be right back. This probably as good as I'm going to get it, and exactly how I like it. Nice and laying straight out. I will pull on these perimeter bands to pop them out so the ends aren't tucked in there. I don't know, I just think it makes it a cleaner look. Okay, so there you have it. And then let me see this band that's bothering me. Okay, so I found these awesome things at, I believe I got them at Hobby Lobby. Anyhow, comes in a thing like this. I've taken it out, and it's made by Real Leather Crafts, okay? And they're $4.99 each, and it's U.S. Army Concho. And those are the numbers in case you want to order. Okay, this is what it looks like. United States Army. It's awesome. Now, this is the things that, okay, you know, the leather crafts that people make, and then they, I guess they're like leather belts, or they're just like leather crafts. And they put these little emblems, you know, it can be a star or whatever the emblem is, and they attach them with screws. So that's what this is. So this one is it's not really a charm, but it is something out of that section. So if you go into Hobby Lobby and you go into the section with all the beads and you look where all the leather making crafts are, that is, which should be down the same section as the beads and the jewelry, that's where you'll find these. But it looks like this on the back. It's got a hole, and it comes with this screw. You use a flathead screwdriver. So and that's what I like about it, is it's nice and stable and strong. It's not flimsy. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the center of your design. So figure out where you're going to want it. Okay, I think that's probably about center. Yeah. Okay. And I know this is a very tight design. Okay, so this is what makes it a little challenging, because when you go to screw the back on, you want to make sure there's no bands under this whole, and any part of this screw, because you're going to screw it down fairly tight. Not too terribly tight, but tight enough to where it's not going to dangle. And you don't want it to, with these little, the screw part, to eat your band and snap it off. So it can be a little challenging. And you're going to have to use two hands, and I hope I can do this on camera. So I'm going to find my center, which is probably going to be right about there. Let me see. Okay. And you want to center it to where, you know, it lays the same way on top and bottom. It's not hanging too far this way or that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it there with my thumbs, flip it over. Okay. Now, you see where that's at? You've got to get that part to come through the other side. And I know it's difficult because this is very tight, but if you just hold it there and then just move some bands. There are little holes. You see these little holes where the black bands are coming out of? You might even could put it through there, because I think the yellow is just so tight that you're not going to be able to I think that's what I did. Although if I do that, well, no, it'll lay too far down. Okay, let me just see. I'm going to go through the yellow because I want it to lay. If I go through the black, it's going to be down like that, and I want it to be centered. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to play around, move some of these bands out of the way. Now, let me see if I can get a good grip on this. Here, I'm telling you all this, and I'm struggling, probably because I've got to have the camera right there. Okay, you see what I'm doing? See where you see that silver? I'm going to play around with it. You see how I got it to come through? Now it's super tight. I'm going to go ahead and grab this, but I've got to make sure none of the yellow bands are in the way. So we're just going to have to pull, and I'm going to use that finger to hold. See how it wants to slide? Okay, just kind of. I know it's kind of a pain, but let me tell you, the finished look is awesome. Try to get it, push it down as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and I'll use this, I'll put this on here. Well, let me see. I need to move that band. Okay, see how I've got it to where the band is over? I'm going to real quick try to stick this thing on. And then I'm going to screw it just a little bit just to get it going. Okay. Flathead screwdriver. Screw it on. Doesn't have to be super tight. Okay. Goes pretty easy. I don't want it to be insanely tight, but enough to... There. Where it gets some resistance. See how I'm getting resistance now? I don't want to go any tighter than that. Okay? So, mine's a little messed up. That's what's cool about it. You just twist it to make it even, however you want it. And there you have it. Awesome, awesome design. You can choose to do... And that's where I kind of, you can take the C-clip and add it to the other side, which should be a black band, which I messed up and didn't do a black band, but you get the gist. This is mine for my husband, so it's okay. The next one I do, I will definitely, I'm going to put it through those 4 bands. Get in there. Okay. Next one, I'll make it match this side, but you get the gist. It's the back part. So there you go. Oop, upside down. Not good. Not good. How awesome is that? Totally awesome. Okay. So, if you choose to do this, same thing for the Marine Corps. It might be a little twisted. Fix it however you make it even. You can buy these little claw clasps. Get a jump ring, put it through the cap band, close it up. Get a jump ring, put it through, close it up. If you choose not to use a C-clip. And then you just clasp it on. Just like that. Just gives it an extra nice crisp look to it. Upside down once again. Sorry, I'm kind of got my reading glasses on and I'm looking through the camera. Couldn't tell. It was a little blurry. But anyhow, that is it. Now, sometimes you can't get, I'm just going to mention this. Sometimes these jump rings, they have a little, you know, you can't get it completely closed. You can get it as good as you can get it. Sometimes these bands, when you stretch them, they can slip through that. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but what I do and what I did on my King's armor, because I'm going to show you how to make the lock for that one, is that I, just so that when I go to put it on, these bands don't slip through that little part of the jump ring. So I'll take a little bit of either nail polish or clear nail polish or super glue or just something to be able to seal that to where these bands aren't going to slip right through, because when you stretch them they can slip right through. But anyhow, this is Army. Oh, there goes my dogs. My dogs were going nuts at the dog next door. So anyhow, here you have it. I have the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. And this is the Armed Forces collection. All the same design, but the official colors for each branch of service. You could do, like for the Army, you could do a camouflage one, but I just really love the black and the yellow because that's the official colors. I put the claw clasps on these three. This one I didn't, just for the sake of the tutorial. So it is a lot shorter because of that. This gives it a little length. So if this is too small for you, you can add one of these clasps, or you can just add an extension by adding a couple links on each side and putting the C-clip on, and that'll make it to the size that you need. So there you have it, my Armed Forces collection. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you say a prayer for all of our armed forces serving overseas, that they come home safely.